Tonight on the CTV News, friends mourn the death of a valued member of Lethbridge's street community. Plus, an arrest warrant is out for the suspect of a home invasion. And local kids head to the theater for the chance to be in a Hollywood movie. Hello. The city's street community is mourning the death of a 55-year-old man at the Lethbridge Shelter and Resource Center. Friends identified the person who died as Carl Goodrider. He was originally from Browning, Montana, but spent most of his time in Lethbridge and the Blood Reserve. As Terry Vogt discovered, Goodrider was well-liked and respected by others on the street.
Police were called to the Lethbridge Shelter and Resource Center just after 5 a.m. Monday to investigate the sudden death of a 55-year-old man. Friends have now identified the man as Carl Goodrider, who was also known as Putza.
Putza is Blackfoot for friend, and Putza was a friend, and known Carl for 20 years.
Streets Alive director Ken Kissick says at one time Goodrider worked for him at the Christian Mission. He also served as foreman for a program that hired people from the emergency shelter to clean up streets in the downtown area.
There's a real struggle because we saw Carl succeed and then get dragged back in. And I mean, there are so many things that they have to overcome.
I spent a lot of time with the street people and got to know most of them. And Butza was a very peaceful guy. He just minded his own business.
Marie Mistaken Chief says she's been told that Goodrider fell down a cement stairway and struck his head on a railing, but managed to make his way inside the shelter. He was last seen rolling onto a mat where he was found the next morning. Mistaken Chief says she was told the incident was reported to staff, but she wonders if anyone checked overnight to see how he was doing. Friends say Carl Goodrider was a popular guy who cared for his people. And despite his problems, they say he was well known and well respected on the street.
The addiction once again came and grabbed a hold of his life, and we lost him again to that life, but we never lost connection with him. We still saw him all the time here. We fed him, we clothed him, we loved him, and because we recognize that there is a human being, a broken human being at the bottom of the addiction.
An autopsy has now been completed at the Calgary Medical Examiner's Office, and police say their investigation has determined the death was non-criminal in nature. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Funeral arrangements have yet to be completed. RCMP say a body found on top of Castle Mountain is the missing hiker they've been searching for since the weekend. 44-year-old Hosiek Michael Huang of Calgary went hiking in Banff National Park Saturday morning. When he didn't return, his family contacted Parks Canada. They immediately launched a ground and air search and found his station wagon at the Castle Mountain Trailhead parking lot. A search and rescue team spotted the man's body from the air and confirmed his identity this afternoon. RCMP say it appears Huang was rappelling down the rock face and fell to the rocks below. Parks Canada crews were hampered by high winds on Tuesday, so they'll have to wait until Wednesday to recover Huang's body. A former Tabor man facing decade-old sexual assault charges made a brief court appearance this morning. Michael Dietrich is representing his client, 50-year-old Jordan Van Voorthuizen. In February, Van Voorthuizen was arrested in Greece and extradited to Canada. He faces 2 decade-old counts of sexual assault against a 16-year-old. Van Voorthuizen is out on bail, but can't have contact with anyone under 16 or possess a computer. His case will return to court in early September. The Lethbridge woman accused of mortgage fraud appeared in Lethbridge Provincial Court this morning. Lethbridge Regional Police have issued an arrest warrant for a 25-year-old man charged in connection with a home invasion robbery earlier this month. Dan Frawley is charged with housebreaking, forcible entry, uttering threats, possessing a weapon, and robbery. On August 1st, 2 men broke into a home along the 600 block of 15th Street South. Once inside, the suspects threatened the homeowner and left with cash. Officers say this was a targeted attack related to the drug trade. Police believe Frawley is in the Lethbridge area and may be driving a black Honda Civic. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call Lethbridge Police or Crime Stoppers. A Lethbridge woman accused of mortgage fraud appeared in Lethbridge Provincial Court this morning. Adina Harms-Barber is accused of 8 counts of fraud of over $5,000 using a forged document and possessing stolen property. She was charged last January after a 3-year investigation by regional police. Harms-Barber pleaded not guilty to the charges. Her 10-day trial is set to begin December 3rd. And Dory, it's been really hot. Yesterday we got up to 34. Do we have more of that nice weather coming?
Yeah, well, you know, if you consider it nice, I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't like the really hot weather. We've got a hot day tomorrow. Right now, the different forecast models are saying anywhere from 33 to 35 degrees in the Lethbridge region tomorrow. And then even after that, we're still definitely in the high 20s and low 30s. So the trend is continuing, Alicia. I hope you like the warm weather. I know a lot of other folks don't, but we just have to deal with what we got. So I'll give you all the details coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Dory. With all those hot temperatures and drying conditions in the forecast, Cypress County has issued a level 1 fire ban. Starting tomorrow morning at 7, all outstanding fire permits will be put on hold and fireworks won't be allowed. There are many exemptions to a level 1 ban, including household fireplaces, regulated burning barrels, and incinerators. The ban leaves campers lots of options as well. Camp stoves, barbecues, and recreational campfires in approved pits are still allowed. A production company is holding an open casting call for kids at one of Canada's oldest theatres. Auditions for elementary-age kids are being held at the historic Empress Theatre. It's for a Hollywood movie called The Young and Prodigious Spivet. The film stars Helena Bonham Carter and Kathy Bates. It's about a 12-year-old photography enthusiast who leaves his ranch and hides on a freight train to travel across the country. The kids will be in a scene that's scheduled to shoot next Sunday in Pincher Creek.
Oh, they're so excited. They come in and they are just so excited. And the parents are amazing. They will drive them anywhere. So we're pretty excited to get some kids out. We're here looking for a photo double for Miss Carter. And just want to get some kids out and get them on that bus for Sunday.
Casting goes until 7 o'clock tonight at the Empress Theatre. A Southern Alberta family considers a local grocery store chain their lifeline. When a fire destroyed their property in January, employees at Co-op came to the rescue. Mike LeBlanc has more in this week's Farm TV.
12 years ago, Tony and Karen Legault decided they wanted to get into the agriculture business.
We wanted to produce a farmer's market style tomato and sell it to a grocery store. And one of the problems with farmers markets and farmers is that, you know, there's one of us. And you have to sell a lot of product if you need to make a living.
They knew they needed other markets for their greenhouse-grown tomatoes.
The Calgary Co-op stepped up to the plate, and we started with just 4 stores, and now we're 23 stores.
They began delivering their tomatoes to the Calgary Co-op stores each week. But then in January, as they stopped for lunch,
and I was looking at over our quarter, and I happened to see a big flash, and I was like, what was that? And next thing I knew, there was a whole pile of smoke.
the fire and wind destroyed their greenhouse.
I lost barns, corrals, all my feeder pens, all my sheds, my well houses for water, all my power stations. Basically everything was burnt to the ground.
They were out of business.
The morning after the fire, I got a phone call from the produce director that said, basically said, we heard about the fire on the news. If there's anything the Calgary Co-op can do, can you please let us know? I said, well, you know, it'd be really nice if you could just, you know, wait for the tomatoes. We'll get some more tomatoes to the stores. And he said, wait, we'll wait it out. We'll be whatever. We're coming to help.
Tony and Karen began rebuilding their greenhouse, and a couple of months later were ready to plant tomatoes.
I got a hold of them the week before planting, and the morning of it, I think we had 23 produce people, managers, the vice president of the Calgary Co-op, and the produce director himself. They were putting tomatoes down. They had their hands dirty. For Paradise Hill Farm, it's well worth being a partner with the Calgary Co-op.
Tomatoes are also available on the farm just east of Nanton, Alberta.
Farm TV is brought to you by DA Building Systems.
And now let's take a look at the markets.